Hey, what is up guys? It is Harrison Barron, the Millennial Entrepreneur, and in this video I want to cover whether or not you should buy email lists, and if you do, which I don't recommend, how to actually clean them. So let's dive into it. My name is Harrison Barron. I am a Millennial Entrepreneur. I deal with digital marketing. If you guys are interested, check out my website, harrisonbarron.com. But in this video, I had a customer come up to me and they said, "Hey Harrison, I want to go buy an email list." And I said, gotta be really careful with this. And this is the experience that I had with this entire process. I'm letting you know because I think that there's a lot of misconceptions about I'm gonna buy an email list and then I'm gonna send that email out. So what is buying an email list? Buying an email list is just calling up a company. There's companies out there that have banks of millions, if not probably billions of emails. And they have data on most of them. So that data could be what the buyer is, who the buyer is, maybe it's the background, where they're located, potential income that they have. There's a lot of different characteristics, thousands of them to be specific, that they fall into. So you can go into these companies or to these companies and you could say, hey, you know what? I want to go buy several thousand or hundreds of thousands of emails, and I want to start using this for, maybe it's growing a business, maybe it's for affiliates, whatever it is that you're choosing to use for it. People are going out and buying these email lists. Now I'm going to share with you guys the experience that I've had with this, and I do not do it. I do not recommend it. However, I know enough about it. I'm going to give you the information. Once again, I do not recommend this, but there are a lot of people that are interested in buying email lists, and I'm going to share with you guys the experience that I've had. So what they did is they went out and they bought about 3,500 to 4,000 emails, a very small amount of emails, believe it or not. Some people buy hundreds of thousands, if not millions of emails. It's usually around 10,000 plus emails is what people are buying. But here's the problem with buying emails that I've seen. Those people have expressed zero interest in anything that you do, right? You have to have a blog because you have to show some value. You have to know who you're buying and who buys from you because it's crazy important. And then lastly, you really need to understand how to kind of convey them or get their interest into buying your products. This is really where a lot of people go wrong. Now, I have seen buying email lists go successfully. I haven't found any success in it because I don't do it, but I do know that there's people out there that have had some pretty good success with this. But you really need to understand who your ideal customer is, what you need to show them in order to have them buy it, and then ultimately digging down into the psychology of everything that they're going to think of when they see your products. So that way, when you know that, you can go buy the most accurate list possible. But here's the problems that I see a lot of the times. A lot of times people buy these email lists. Most of these emails, or a lot of them, are going to be expired. So you need to use some kind of filtering service. There's tons of them out there. There's email validation, there's Kickbox, there's Never Bounce. The list goes on and on. And basically what they do is they sift out and find the most accurate and basically emails that aren't going to bounce. When you send out an email, emails like to be received by that person's inbox. Think about it as like a mailbox at your house, right? Well, you bought a bunch of people's homes, or better yet, addresses to their homes, right? But some people have a lock on their mailbox where only certain people can enter mail in. You don't want them to bounce too often because then the mail person, the post office, gets pissed that that the mail is not going in that mailbox, and then they have to go return it to sender, let them know, hey, this isn't working. This is kind of exactly how mail works. And when you buy an email list, a lot of times there's a pretty big percentage. It's usually between 10 and 30% of those emails that you're going to buy are no good. Now, this is horrible because if you load up those emails in a platform like HubSpot, MailChimp, Constant Contact, you're going to have a lot of issues getting in front of those people. This is why you have to use different mailing methods. Now, I don't know exactly what mailing method is going to be best, but if you use some of these name brand email marketing tools, they're going to bounce and they're going to flag you and say, hey, we know that you bought this email list. It's against our terms of service. Their terms of service clearly state that you cannot buy email lists. It's against their thing. And if your bounce rate is too high, they reserve the right to revoke your permissions to send emails out through their server because it makes their stuff look bad, right? Because think about it. If the post office keeps picking up from this location and every time they pick up, they know that, hey, there's some most of the mail is not going to be good. They're just going to say, we don't want you as a customer, right? So you have to think about this. It's really important. So when you buy all these email lists, or emails, you have to sift through them. You have to use one of these programs. Now, I'm not an affiliate with any of them. I don't particularly care. Some work better than others. You can test. Now, I've used these because sometimes people have lists from a convention or something like that where it is really, really useful. But for the most part, you need to sift through and filter out good emails versus bad emails. Once you do that, you have to find a tool that is going to let you send, because most of the time, even after those tools, you might get a bounce rate of 10, 12, 15%, which is just high enough to set off an alarm in their system. That's no good. You set off that alarm, they're going to say, hey, you know what, you got to clean out these emails a little better, right? Even though you just used a tool. So there's a couple of tricky ways you can start to upload chunks of that list as you send out email blasts to your normal list. There's a variety of ways that you can kind of get around these rules so that way it keeps that bounce rate low. Once you send out your full email, right, and you get a lower bounce rate, usually it's around 7% or lower is really where you want to be. From there, you're then safe. You can start to email those people. But here's the problem that I see after people go and do that. They have done all of this work, right? They've cleaned these emails, they've gotten these emails, they understand the buyer persona, but they haven't actually prepared where those buyers are going to go or the emails associated with them. So they've done all this hard work, they come up with this great idea. You know what? They call this company up and they say, hey, you know what? I want to go buy this massive email list. You go clean it, you upload it, you finally get everything done, and you're missing two of the most viable and valuable parts of this entire operation, right? You got to show that there's some kind of value on the other end of this email. So you have to get them to open it and click to at least go to your website. That's number one. It has to be viable because images reduce your email deliverability, super long emails, trigger keywords like free or exclusive deal. Those are all blocker keywords that prevent your mail from actually getting in the inbox, even though you know that it's a good email address. So there's all these factors that come into play when you buy these emails. So most of the time I see people, they buy the email, they filter everything out. Maybe they even have a decent email that's going to be sent out. But the last part of this entire process that I see 10 out of 10 times failing is where they send the traffic to is horrible. They're sending it to their homepage, which doesn't convert. They're sending it to a product page, which also doesn't convert. They have no proof that say, hey, if I send 1,000 visitors to this page, I'm going to get at least 1% or 2% or 5% sales. This is where the real problem happens. So just because you did the first section right, if you don't have that last page dialed in, none of this matters. So what I recommend to people, and I do not recommend buying email lists because now we're starting to get into the email marketing world. Find your page that converts. Go get a product like Swipe Pages or some kind of landing page builder where you can A/B test what landing page is going to work best. Try to send as much traffic to it, whether it's ads, it could be emails. Just keep sending. Maybe it's your existing contact list. Send as much traffic to that page over and over and over and over again. And when you get 1,000 people at that page and you see the numbers that come out of it, maybe it's a 1%, maybe it's a 2% conversion rate, maybe it's a 0.5% conversion rate, you can then start to make some educated guesses or start to make some modifications to the last final point where these people are going to go to. And once that's dialed in, then you can do the whole process. Once again, I do not condone buying email lists, but this is the exact same thing as having your contacts subscribe to your website, right? A lot of people work really, really hard, myself included, in getting people to subscribe to their website. But here's the problem. They have no sale on the other end. They don't either have a product, which is okay. They don't have that landing page, that final page where people are going to land with proof that they know that if they get 100 people to this landing page, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, 10 people are gonna buy on that landing page. This is the biggest mistake I see with email marketing and buying email lists. But most of the time, these people buy these email lists, they do all of this, they're not ready, and then they fail. They get upset, they think it's bad emails, they don't understand what's wrong, and ultimately, they did everything wrong. They broke terms of service buying an email list, they bought other customers' information who were not interested in their product already, right? They had to go find and do digging to find an email marketing service that would allow them to send this massive amount of emails. Hopefully, they are out there, right? And then after they do all of this work, they fail at the landing page, right? And most of the time they're failing all along the way. So multiple failures does not equate to success. And even if you have the best landing page ever, you know that your ideal customer, when they get to that landing page, converted maybe 20%, right? Sick numbers. But you don't know who you're buying because you don't know who's buying from that page. You haven't gone into the psyche of that customer to really dial it in. These are where the issues lie. So you have to go through, not that I recommend doing this, but think about it from your ideal customers, right? Who are they? What ethnicities are they? How much money do they make? Where do they live? What are they interested in, right? What brought them to your product page, right? Following up with customers, hey, just out of curiosity, I'm glad I earned you as a customer, but why did you buy from me and not somebody else? These questions are huge. They will change the way your business works. And that information that you get can be plugged right into your emails and right into that landing page so that all you have to do is get those emails. Once again, I do not condone buying emails, but if you create blogs, you create content such as this YouTube video, there is a link to join my email newsletter down below. These are all different ways that you can get people into your email list, then to convert over to ultimately buy from you. So this is the secret sauce. This is the thing that nobody wants to talk about because these other affiliate marketers and other YouTubers want to just say like, hey, go buy an email list and send out a dozen emails and you're going to get sales. It's never that easy. I've seen it time and time again, either coaching, consulting customers where they're like, hey, I bought this email, I set up this email server, and I sent thousands of visitors, thousands of people this email, and nobody's buying, and I can't figure out why. It's 10 out of 10 times one of these 4 issues, right? It's not knowing who that is on your email list, right? It's having a really, really poor email that's drafted up. It's no reason to buy, and then a landing page that does not have proof that it converts. Those are the 4 main keys and main takeaways of why people's email marketing sucks. And it doesn't matter if you buy that email. It's just any emails that are going out. So I hope you guys found value in this. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm in an Airbnb. We are in the process of moving, so my videos are going to be a little weird for the next couple weeks, probably specifically for about 10 more days we're in the Airbnb, and then there's a major life update happening. Stay tuned. I love you guys. Hit that like button. I hope I earned it. Subscribe button, notification bell. I'll see you guys later.